About the Garden of Eden, just where the river Nile she flow. Higher and higher reason we die hiding, where we observe from afar. Many ships sailing on the horizon, we never knew, how were we to know? Wicked man was coming to spoil our meditation. With his brutality, he led us away in the shadows and chains. But so far, far away, will I ever see my home again? But even though I've been a stranger, and you've made me so proud, do you think I would ever give up? Let's go now. Run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. Say how you run away, say yeah. Run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. They say that how you run away, say yeah. When I saw what he had been sold, I made a freedom run into the country. But when he knew I was missing once more, he said his devil dogs went out to find me. The faster I go, the more I hear my own heart beat inside me. And that's how I know the brainwash education couldn't hold me. I've met many more soldiers on my way. And there is one thing that Paul would say, oh Lord, I'm glad to be a freeman, remembering all the patriarchs who died along the way. We could all be free today. Run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. Say I run away, say yeah. Run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. Say I run away, say yeah. Oh boy, yeah, yeah. Leave the fight another day. Come on, run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. They call me run away, say yeah. Run away, run away, run away, run away, run away. It's gonna take some time before we all can see the chains that surround our minds are killing us slowly. I've got to get out of here, cause this has never been a love affair. Our children keep dying in the streets. No matter how hard some try, some say it's to no avail. Youth's got to recognize the motherland again. I'm living in a danger zone, so far away from home. Look how they're taking advantage of where you get. Oh Babylon, you're wrong, so wrong, so wrong. A power band, hold on. I said your judgment won't be long. Oh brother man, be strong. Put down your weapon, oh Lord, cause divide and rule is the wicked one's master plan. Why oh many have lost their lives fighting for the cause, and oh so many know not what they're fighting for. So the killings increase more and more. Yeah. Hatred only makes hatred multiply. For so long we've seen, cause of color many good men die. So if they knew what life was worth. Yeah. So it go, you know? So it go. Good friends we've had and good friends we've lost.
Greetings, family. Oh, not do up there.
So it go.
Bless up, Lord.
Give a signs for those who will get to reflect in life. Just open your eyes and see. Hey, don't be blind, no.
Yes, it's me again on a Sunday. Enough is enough. I wanna feel out there. Wanna fed up. Wanna vex. Wanna conscious. Minds being liberated. Are you ready to seize this moment? Yeah, seize this moment, you know, and build on the sacrifices of our ancestors. The time is at hand. Blessed love, family. Blessed love.
Sense, knowledge, and wisdom to overstand how man to man can be so unjust. I just don't know who to choose. You can go your way, I will go my own. Say the love of Almighty Jah will lead me on. Yes, you go your way, I will go my own. Say the love of the Almighty Jah will keep me strong, so strong. Now the things are oh so clear. I've got to make a move. Hey, can't sit around, no, no. Friends are few who really care, and yes, I'd be a fool, hey, if I didn't know that. Hey. Every action will cause a reaction in my eyes. Said reaction can be a blessing in disguise. So I'll go on and I won't compromise. No way. More strength for the wise. You can go your way, I will go my own. Say the love of the Almighty Jah will lead me on. Yes, you go your way, and I will go my own. Love of the Almighty Jah will keep me strong. Will keep me strong.
Yes, the love of the Father will keep us strong, you know, keep us strong indeed. And in this time, we really and truly need the supporter, the collective support, the collective voice, the collective energy, the vibration, all that is necessary in this time, because we are within our time, you know, having to reflect and to seize this moment, because it's been a long time in coming. You know, it really has been a long time in coming, you know. But yeah, firstly, family, how you do? And I hope you're doing fine. Today is another nice day. You know, heat is upon us. You know what I'm saying? So I'm hoping we're harnessing this energy, you know, that is a loving oneness feeling, you know, that I'm seeing throughout our community, you know. But first and foremost, my respect to the ancestors on whose shoulders I myself stand, and I'm hoping that yourself, the listeners out there, are coming to realize that no man is an island. Yeah, I'd like to pay my respect to management, the engineers for making this program possible. Albeit I can sense there's one phone that's not already working. To bless Radio 1 to afford this blessing upon myself. So to enable me to know myself a bit better and hopefully you also, the community out there listening, so that this station or this platform can be of benefit to us all. My respect to the kings and queens out there active in the fight for justice, because where there's no justice, there is no peace. You know, that which was echoed yesterday at our stands, our gathering outside Tottenham Police Station. You know, it's been a very busy week insofar as protests, some of which I'd supported and been part of, again, of the planning, you know, and the journey continues and also the work continues, you know. So I say salute to the soldiers and generals on the front line, taking their stand, not kneeling or bowing at this time. Again, respect were paid to the Joy Gardner family for their enduring strength and for those who give their support to their cause. Mention of Cynthia Jarrett, you know, there are so many names, so many warriors, you know, so many sacrifice, you know, in the past 27 years or more, you know. Again, the Windrush generation who forever is causing the government some headache, you know. His respect goes out to all the family of those who have lost loved ones, you know. And again, I have to say big respect for that spirited support for Saturday at the Tottenham station. Big up to the generals at Stafford and others. We salute you. As was said, enough is enough. So the time is now to be seeing our demands met. You know, so my salute to you, my brother. And again to Omawali, Rupert M. Unruh, and the Okombozi drum beat, 1,000 drums. You know, again, a fantastic turnout at Oakley's Wood yesterday with libation and covering the 80 or Haitian Revolution. You know, so again, looking forward to this weekend, which I believe is going to be at Hyde Park. You know, so there's just so many things which are happening. I think again on Thursday I was over there in Ladbroke Grove. I was paying my respect as well as with the drummers to the Fox family. You know, it was a honor to meet up with yourself, Flowers, and some of the other families. And it was a spirited day, no doubt, again, because it was our independence, you know, 6th of August, Jamaican independence. I mean, I was out in my colors, you know what I'm saying? And over again in Kensal Rise up there in the Arrow Road in the cemetery where my brother was able to show me where Marcus Garvey himself once rested, you know, whilst in transit. You know what I'm saying? So it's been an uplifting week overall. Um, I must mention also because we've got uh, three guests who are going to phone in to participate in today's program. I so happened to went to a pre-launch in Edmonton Green there for I believe it's 21st century digital media, you know, which is really encouraging to see as to how um, they're embarking on a program to address some of the needs amongst our young people. You know, so we may open from say 8:30 onwards to be able to speak to Althea, a representative of 21K Digital Media, and others also as the program developed. You know, but yeah, it's been quite interesting and encouraging to see the movement, particularly amongst our youngsters, you know, the younger generation, the encouragement, you know, forever family, you know, and also the 400 who were on last week. You know, we're very encouraged and hopeful that, you know, the baton without a doubt is going to be passed, or it has been passed, or in some case we might say it's been taken, you know, taken out of our hands. But, you know, the elders and generals no doubt are there to be able to to guide, the energetic young soldiers and warriors, who are showing themselves. So we say respect and we salute yourselves. We wish you the protection, God's richest blessings, and all of those things, as you take the baton and run with it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, with that little bit of an introduction, I'm just gonna take a little bit of break. Yeah, play you another track, and we just come back again. Yeah. So blessed love.
As you open your eyes, remember to give God the glory. And you must realize the love He has for us, for Him to rise with today. To rise be giving all my thanks and be paying them my reverence. The punishment for disobedience is only sorrow and pain. So tell me why the fight? Why you killing one another? Yeah. Why don't we all unite like sisters and brothers? So if you see the war, you see a blood that a run, a judgment come. Seize the war. Your help and your strength and all your faculties, so I worry. Oh, I say, don't you dare cross the line and kill your brother, man, now for money. No way. The road will be rough ahead. A situation can get very jail. Yeah. Remember what the Natty said? A one love we want down there. Yeah. So seize the war. A blood that a run, judgment come, seize the war. Hey, seize the war. A blood that a run, judgment come, seize the war.
Yes, family. Yeah, well, I'm going to revert to what is customary now, in that I'm going to look to the good books and to get to the word of goods and the awakening. Now for today, I'm going to turn further on into the book, and I'll be reading today, and I'm asking of you to remember your duties, be worthy of your ancestors, do honor to yourself and to your family, and furthermore, free yourselves of petty concerns and put principle above all else. So we are guided by principles, and it's not by our might. No man is an island. No one stands alone. We need to adapt our village mentality to know that we are our brother's keeper. Yeah, so I'm hoping that as the movement and the moment unfolds and develop, we do not seize this moment, this opportunity to garner amongst ourselves oneness, one love, one peace, one harmony, because the ancestors have made a tremendous sacrifice to enable us to afford the privilege. Not that our privilege is anything compared to our European counterpart, but nonetheless, our nature, our humanity is what is going to carry us further forward, because we know nature's love. Yeah, we don't have the bad mind, or hopefully we've not learned it to the extent that it's going to hinder us from moving forward. It's our time now, and we need to seize our moment now, yeah, in order to forward in this time. Yeah, so bless up.
are killing us slowly. I've got to get out of here, cause this has never been a love affair. Our children keep dying in the streets. No matter how hard some try, some say it's to no avail. Youth's got to recognize the motherland again. I'm living in a danger zone, so far away from home. Look how they're taking advantage of we get. Oh Babylon, you're wrong, so wrong, so wrong. A power gun, hold on. I said your judgment won't be long. Oh brother man, be strong. Put down your weapon, oh Lord, cause divide and rule is the wicked one's master plan. Why oh many have lost their lives fighting for the cause, and oh so many know not what they're fighting for. Many warriors have been compromised, fought with the riches and the lies, and so the killings increase more and more. Yeah. Hatred only makes hatred multiply. And for so long we've seen, cause of color many good men die. So if they knew what life was worth, they would do good with their time on earth. One and all must unify. Tell them, oh Babylon, you're wrong. So wrong, so wrong. A power gun, hold on. I say your judgment won't be long. Oh brother man, be strong. No matter what a man complexion, oh Lord, cause divide and rule is the wicked one's master plan. Their master plan, only spells destruction for I and I. Yeah, we got to come together to overcome brainwash mentality, you know. Break these chains that hold I down, hold I down. Oh Babylon, you're wrong, so wrong, so wrong. A power gun, hold on. I said your judgment won't be long. Oh brother man, be strong. Put down your weapon, oh Lord, cause divide and rule is the wicked one's master plan. Oh Babylon, you're wrong, so wrong, so wrong. Oh power gun, oh Lord, I said your judgment won't be long. Oh brother man, be strong. Don't judge a man by his complexion, oh no, cause divide and rule is the wicked one's master plan.
Yeah, that's the wicked man's master plan, to divide and rule. But it affords us an opportunity now to be able to greet and meet, to educate and to liberate. None but ourselves can free our minds. You know what I'm saying? So we are where we are, yeah? But give God thanks. Give him the honor and the praises, that we live to see. Yeah, and that we are able to, in a sense, reflect now on the sacrifices from being over in Windrush Square last week to again standing shoulder to shoulders with fellow brothers and generals at the Tottenham, to being in the woods, paying respect, libation. All of these things are significant, small as they may be, but within our heart they're bold steps. It's one step at a time. Yeah, so as a family, we must not lose sight of this moment, and we have to keep the momentum going forward, because if we stop, it's going to be a hard thing to start up all over again. So we need to maintain and to seize this moment, Yeah, insofar as, in the last 3 weeks or so, there's been a bit of an emphasis on our younger generation. The opportunity, because we're mindful of the fact that they are our future. And we're going to continue this week also by looking within, you might say, my community up there in Edmonton as to what is on offer and the potential that it offers for the young people within that community of Enfield. Not that it exclude those from outside, but obviously we would like to facilitate those who are local. Yeah, and it's needs that we have identified, and there are elders who are prepared to deliver on these programs. So we're asking of you, the youngers out there, to give a keen ear also to parents, that you may well take advantage of this opportunity for our youngsters. And we're talking sessions which are available dealing with creative vision, cutting edge 3D designs, and also Roots Pod Academy and Witty Designs. Now, we've got three of the representatives who are going to phone in to project as to what it is that they offer, what is so unique in their delivery, and how it is then that we can expect our young people to respond, take advantage, and use it for their own personal development, which then is going to lead them into a future where either they become entrepreneurs or they'll have the skill set in order to take up employment. Yeah. So we're looking at cutting edge design. Also, we're looking at witty ditty designs, and there's also Roots Pod Academy, whose aim is to inspire teenagers and young adults between the ages of 14 to 24 to become successful entrepreneurs, through the interactive workshops that they are going to be offering. So within that it deals with communication skills, confidence, and focus to achieve, fulfill, and monetize goals. So yeah, it's about selling yourself both to your boss as well as to the general public out there. So the sister will be explaining her aims, her objectives, and why her journey to a certain extent, what it is that impressed upon her, and why it is that she decided to make this move now, both for herself and for us generally as a community. So more love to these three sisters. I so happened to pass by. I had been given an invitation, but the diary being so full to a certain extent, it meant that it would be cutting into other things. But nonetheless, I was able to be there and to see other guests. Center manager was there, so I can see that they're on the right track. So we've got to be able to hold not just Enfield Council to account, but to make sure that our, would you say, parliamentary representation is aware as to what is being done, and to assist and to facilitate, because again, funds oftentimes comes into our community because we have been deprived, and deprivation attracts money. But then when it comes, for whatever reasons, we're not around the table to get that money, which is rightful of ours. So others then jump on the bandwagon, say they are this, that, and the other, and then they claim the money and then they can't deliver. Yeah, so we've got to be mindful as to these situations, that they just don't keep reoccurring. Yeah, so I myself will lend my support as best as is possible locally, and to see that this thing grows. I myself has got a little bit of a personal interest because I'm into the branding. I'll need to find out a lot more in order to progress myself in what I am doing. Yeah, but that was the earlier part of Saturday. I was able to then leave from there in order to get to Tottenham, to stand with my brother, or to be in support with my brothers down there on the Mark Duggan. I think it was 9 years. It's hard to believe that 9 years has gone so far. Thanks for the account or the overview presented by our general, and it's a case now where we need to be making more demands, because historically the institutions, or Babylon has been said, they've been found to be short. They're in fact guilty, and oftentimes We're afraid to say the things. It's like they're murdering us, and then we're not really holding them to account, or the system seems to continue to protect them, you know. But we've come to realize there are two places which are not normal within London, and that's is Tottenham as well as Brixton, you know. So we take a stand, and we've got to continue to take this stand together in order for us to get justice, yeah, up against all these institutions that forever seem to be fighting us down and not being prepared to give us, well, we shouldn't even be requesting it of them. We just want to have equal rights and justice. We need to be able to cook our own food in our own way, you know. So all of these injustices need to be addressed, you know. So yeah, it was a pleasure to be there amongst yourselves in Tottenham, you know. We one side of the road we had blocked, you know, but you know we had to allow another side to go through, yeah. So yeah, it was a joy. Again, the drummers were there, you know. Others were committed because we had a function over in Oakley's Wood, you know, which I had to get across to. But nonetheless, all bases was covered for the day, and yeah, and into the wee hours of the morning, you know. So today again, I'm not as tired as I was last week, but nonetheless, you know, was able to put a little program together in order to carry on the interest amongst our youngers. Yeah, so youngers, I'm asking of you obviously that we're in a situation where effectively we're still in rehab, and we're slowly making our way out. Yeah, because more and more of us are prepared to be outward thinking, and to be socializing. Yeah, because they've come to realize that being locked up is not a very good idea. Some of us can manage it, and some of us just can't take it. You know what I'm saying? So that, in a sense, covers my activities up until um, last night or this morning. Yeah, it was rather strange this year. I spent Independence in colors, but over there in Ladbroke Grove, you know, I was part of a drumming group that had been asked to pay a respect to the Fox's family in giving mom a um, a salute, drum salute, you know, which is so deserving from what I understand of mom. I didn't personally know her, but I know Omawali did, and it was a pleasure to meet Flowers and to even just to embrace, you know, because the love was there, the sunshine, and I'm sure the fact that our ascension took place on what is effectively Jamaican Independence Day, it means that, you know, her name most definitely, yeah, is in concrete, you know, in as much as it can never, ever, ever be forgotten because of the significance of the date and the time, and even how the sun shone for us on the day, you know. So family, honor, respect, and manners, you know. So more love to you, yeah. So yeah, we're gonna come down now. Hopefully, we'll have the line ready for our guests. We've got three guests for you this evening. We're gonna look on the digital media platform as to what opportunity it affords our youngsters, and what is it so unique about this venture, and how we can make it work so it can then be simulated in other boroughs if it's not already there. Because as I'm saying, I find that the London borough of Enfield is somewhat lacking when it comes to our needs as African Caribbean. We haven't got a community center. Yeah, there is so much that we're short on. That, being honest, I would say that we need to link more so with Tottenham. We need your help. I think I was saying it last week. Yeah, because it would appear that we in Enfield are in a slumber. We're in a sleep. Yeah, few of us is out on the front line, you know, but everybody just lock themselves in them house. Yeah, it's like they've lost the fight. And I'm not into this kind of cowardice business, if it did, if it did. It's the truth, you know what I'm saying? But we're using COVID as an excuse for staying a lockdown, yeah? Whilst them try inject we and we're the first one I go shout say no to the injection, no to the injection. But you don't realize if you confine yourself, that's the very way that they're gonna use that signal to say they want control we. Because that's all it is. You know what I'm saying? I can't dismiss and say it's all fallacy. You understand? But I can't see the logic. And over a period of the last 6 months, the common sense seemed to have gone out of the window. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, I'm seeing I'm getting one call already. Let me see what's happening on this phone for me. Let's. Hello?
Hello.
Okay, I'm still hearing ringing on this phone. Hold on, bear with us a moment. Okay, can you still hear me?
I can hear you well. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I just need to make sure that you're coming across on the radio.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, I think that sounds like it. Right,
Yeah.
so who am I speaking to?
So you're speaking to Althea Blake, founder of Roots Pod Academy.
Okay, okay. Well, it's a pleasure to have met yourself. What is it? Yesterday for the first time.
Yeah, it's lovely meeting you too, Clive. Really nice to meet you.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Um,
I'm I'm naturally excited because you're touching on things which involve our young people, and I think
definitely.
anything we can do for our young people, particularly to prevent them to go back into that state where they were killing their one another, even though I must admit I've heard that it hasn't ceased because incidents are still happening across the London boroughs, you know.
Yeah,
But let's not deal with that. Let's deal with the positives. Yeah.
definitely.
So,
Yeah.
right, from what I'd gathered, having spoken to yourself briefly, and where we're at as a training institution. Right, you
Mm.
represent Roots Pod Academy. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yes. So
Okay.
I represent Roots Pod Academy, and I'm joining forces really with 21K and the other businesses who you will be speaking to their founders shortly as well. And again, just as you say, we're coming together just to kind of like meet a cause that's kind of like happening at the moment with all like the violence in Edmonton with the young people. So the founder, Colin Leone, really wanted to address that and be able to give young people like an opportunity where they don't they don't kind of like see there's only kind of like one route to success, as it were, and especially as the media and society likes to show our young people. So really, I mean, that was quite close to my heart because I was already working with young people through my organisation, Roots Pod Academy.
Okay. Well, again, obviously, I must commend Colin for what he's doing and his
Yeah,
longevity
definitely.
because it's been some number of years. I remember when he had AD 2000, you know,
Exactly.
and
Uh,
that's so many years ago. But I know certain that if I calculate, that was probably back even before we turned into the 2000.
that's right. Yeah, I think it was around about 95.
Yeah.
And and I know because that's kind of like where I met Colin, and that's kind of like where I started. And I was like late teens. I think I was like 19, 20 at the time. I know, I just got giving away my age here.
Yeah, but I mean, when you put another 20 years on top of it, it just goes to show you the time has gone by so quickly.
It has literally just flown by. I mean, I can't even believe, and it's only because I can't like calculate the age of my first child that I realise, my goodness, time has really flown by and seen how much time has passed. But
Yeah.
again, just I mean, as you say, have to commend Colin that he's been in the business of supporting young people for such a long time. And I remember that I'd actually left college after doing a 2-year BTEC course in media, and I wasn't quite ready to go to university. I think I was literally just so exhausted having to hand in my like end of year assignments that it was just like I just need a little bit of time out. So it was very much a case of okay, so what next? And then I saw an advert for AD 2000, and it was like a video production workshop, and I
Yeah,
think the length
yeah.
was about 3 weeks. And so I decided to attend. It was a free government funded program, and it was just maybe about 20 young people on the course, again, age range maybe between about 17 and 21, all from different walks of life, different backgrounds, all really in the Enfield borough though. I think panning from like Palmer's Green, Edmonton, Enfield, etc. And it was a program that really helped you understand how the industry actually worked. So it wasn't coming in to learn video production from a textbook angle. It was really about this is a hands on, practical workshop. And it really grew my confidence because, again, just working with different people from different walks of life, being given responsibilities. And after the workshop actually finished, I continued in an admin role and then was like the PA to Colin, who's like the
Mm-hmm.
managing director at the time. It just helped supporting him, and while he was still continuing to run workshops.
Yeah.
So again, even that, just him believing in me and the other members of his team believing in me as well, it really boosted my confidence quite a lot. And I saw people that looked like me that were in the TV industry, and it was like, so maybe there is like a
Mm.
route for me in there as well. So yeah, so again, I just think representation really matters as well. I mean, I can't emphasize it enough. And you said it yesterday, you've said it today about it takes a village to raise a child, and I really believe that it does take a community to raise a child, and that's kind of like the ethos of Roots Pod Academy as well. What I do in terms of bringing different business owners together to share their expertise to help young people to become successful entrepreneurs.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's for want of us trying. I think often
Mm,
cases it's going to be as was with Colin. You know,
yeah,
historically you do receive funding, but then no sooner are you thinking that you're on your feet and ready to go that they then withdraw the fund, and then
yeah,
you're basically left out in the lurch. You know, so
yeah,
I'm hoping that obviously as a new venture that we'll be able to, or you'll be able to get the funding in order to sustain yourselves and to give the interest, because there's one thing giving these youngsters hope only for it to be dashed because the funds are being withdrawn and the opportunity
yeah.
is not being realized, you
No,
know.
completely agree. And I think as well, I mean, the only way the funding will keep coming as well is if we're actually supported. So we need the young people to come out and to actually attend the workshops. Because if we're saying, look, there's a need, we need to be providing opportunities for young people. We need to be able to support them. We need to be able to do follow-ups with them as well, and just be there to mentor them as well. And no young people are turning up. Well, they're going to think, well, clearly there's not a need, and we can see that there is blatantly a need, that these young people need the support. And again, there's a lot of hard to reach kids who would really benefit, but again, they don't really know what we're about. So again, it's for them to come and like really test the waters and really see, actually, yeah, this will really benefit me as well.
Yeah, well, again, that is part of the purpose of spreading the message, because we've
Mm,
got all kinds of barriers we need to break down, because there's also this so-called postcode that
yeah,
instigate this fear. But I'm hoping through this so-called Black Lives Matters movement and the
yeah,
time to which we are in, it would give us the realization that, we need to seize this moment, because they're not happy, they're not comfortable, they're not able to enjoy themselves. So we need to be able to, as a collective, with that village mindset, to be able to allow them to be able to embrace each other, and to know,
yeah,
let them know
definitely.
that their difference is smaller than they make it out to be. So we need to be able to generate this love. The other thing which you had said, and it's something that we need to echo, is that in representation.
Mm,
Now, obviously, I saw noted that the center manager for the Green was there, but I
yes,
did not see a political figure. And
no,
when I say that, I did not see the local councillor.
No,
And
that's
I
right.
know that one of the local councillor is African Caribbean. I know there are few. So one of the
Mm.
challenges that we need to meet is that we have representation because the council does not reflect the community that it's trying to serve. Hence,
That's right.
you can
Correct.
see the disproportionate representation when it comes to businesses and all other things that we are, for whatever reason, always lagging. And I can state that as a case myself, as you'd say, a former councillor, that the institutions that there is, they seem to have a certain attitude or approach when it comes to us
Mm.
African Caribbean, that they, for whatever reason, they seem to want to deny us that representation. So again, with this Black Lives Matter, I'm hoping that we're going to put our foot down, because for yourselves to be successful, you need the support of
Definitely.
your local, what you just say, councillors or
Yeah.
local government representative, because they are in the know when the funding streams are about. So it's for them to inform, but if they're not amongst you, they're not likely to tell you. Yeah, so you
Yeah.
will
And
be
they need
forever
to
seeking.
inform.
You know.
Yeah, exactly. They need to inform us. They need to kind of like support us with those bids as well. And I think you're right as well. I think there's a underrepresentation within leadership and within the council roles as well. And which is such a shame as well, because even with our young people who are looking up and looking to go into different roles and different careers, it's difficult for them to see, oh, actually, I will be able to make it there, or I will be able to get my foot in the door. When they don't see people that look like them there, they already know there's going to be a difficulty. And then when they're in there, there's going to be a fight. And there just needs to be more representation so people can feel that they actually belong and do feel of value.
Yeah.
And I think that's really
Yeah,
important.
most definitely. And I think also by having those senior representatives within our community
Mm,
present, it means that they are being taken more seriously.
100%. And
Yeah.
I think it takes more than them just sending a tweet about it. They need to be physically there, present, and talking about it and supporting us, and not just ticking boxes that say, "Oh yeah, we attended this event, we endorsed it." No, endorsing it is physically, whether they're even sharing it on their website. They knew this event was coming, and I look across like the councils and even Edmonton Green Management's website, and I don't see it under the events. So for me, that's like it's almost like just lip service. Need to be doing more to help support us, and that's part of branding as well. Just being able to market the event in different ways.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Well, without a doubt, I'm interested in the branding side of things.
Mm.
So yeah, what can you tell? I mean, I'm looking at Gucci, Beats by Dre, McDonald's. So this is part of your journey, your life experience.
Well, I've worked for quite a few brands. So my background's actually, my profession's actually project management, and I work in on a lot of tech projects, but in a marketing and branding capacity. So I have worked on brands like Gucci. I've worked on brands like Facebook as well, and like Sainsbury's, local ones like Sainsbury's, David Lloyd's, international ones like Star Wars, even like the national newspapers like the Times and the Sunday Times. So I've got a lot of, these brands have kind of like trusted me, and I've gained a lot of knowledge and experience along the way. So again, it helps me to help young people. It also helps me, what I'm finding as well, there's a lot of people. So the age group that I tend to help is 14 to 24, but
Okay.
constantly being asked by people above that number for support. And it's amazing because you want people to be looking at their own businesses and wanting to start making a difference. And
Okay.
so
Okay.
yeah, so yeah, branding is key, and I think it almost starts with yourself, your own personal brand.
Yeah.
How are you representing yourself for others to actually see you? And I think if you kind of like not necessarily focus on that, but kind of like get that foundation in order, you will then be able to know what is it that you'd like your business to actually represent as well.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna come to yourself off the
Yes,
here
I look forward
privately
to the
because
conversation.
I consider myself a controversial figure. I've put myself in places where others may well not have considered doing, but
But
it's
that's a benefit, yeah, that's a bonus.
yeah, but there's been time when my community they've not been best pleased with me, but I think they've come to understand it better now that they've experienced and they've seen the hostile environment to which we've been subjected to. Because for whatever reason, we have always thought that the Labour Party, as an example, was there for us.
Mm,
But it would appear that irrespective of which party is in power or has supposedly got the responsibility to serve us. They never seem to serve us, you know. So I've been on the front line and I've taken a stand again, like with Colin, and we're forever fighting. So
yeah,
we're not going to give up on that fight. We're going to continue to take a stand, and hopefully to try and empower the generations to come, because we're mindful of the fact that we're aging, and if we are not able
that's
to
right,
pass
yeah.
on the baton in good hands, then the suffering is going to continue for the next 400 years, it would appear, which would suit them, but the world obviously would be destroyed if we allow it to be the case. So
Exactly.
I'm really and truly encouraged, and to those who are out there listening, parents, youngsters, I'm asking of you to seize this opportunity, seize this moment, and also to hold our local authority as well as our MP, Westminster representative, to account. Let them do the job
Mm,
that they have been assigned, have been elected to do. So we're not asking you know, too much of them. They're supposed to be performing their duty, because they whether they're going or not, whether they're shielding or not, they're still getting paid, and
yes, of
they're getting
course.
paid for dinner and all these things, that they're getting so much money.
Mm,
It makes you wonder why it is that they should be getting these perks, you know.
yeah.
But that's an issue again all by itself. So those of these youngsters or whoever that would come to you. I mean, I know you mentioned the ceiling of 24. Obviously, I'm beyond that age. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I say once a man, twice a child. So
This is right. This is true.
yeah, as long as we want happy to learn, then there's a possibility. And yeah, for what I would like to do, because my work has always been voluntary or community. So
Mm,
my idea, my branding is gonna be regenerating a community anyway. So that's what
amazing.
I'm gonna come to you with. And
Yeah.
aside from that, I mean, what would you like? What are you looking for from the public? I mean, I mean, aside from the age group, what do you want? What kind of mindset do you want from those who are going to be coming to you?
You know, so obviously I'd love an open mindset, a mindset that is kind of like ready to be a go-getter and actually do stuff. But at the same time, when I kind of like look at the previous cohorts that I've had, with working with the young people, many of them like come out of curiosity. Some have no business idea in mind. They're just interested to find out what it's all about. And even that mindset of curiosity is good enough, because they always leave and they think, my goodness, I was sitting on all these ideas that I could have just started a business with. And
Mm-hmm.
it just starts to ripen that imagination of what they can actually do. And so it's a case of, and again, I've had young people that come who are like suffering from anxiety, and they might just bring their parents along with them as well, because they've like even started like a little business. We had a young girl who's about 14 who'd actually started a cake business, but she dropped out of school and she was, frightened to go to school and had lots of different issues. But she was doing like cupcakes and all sorts of birthday cakes. And she came along with her mum because she actually wanted to grow her business and do a little bit more, particularly online.
Mm-hmm.
And again, just coming along, her mum warned me that she won't want to speak. And by the end of it, she was talking. She had some really great ideas for her business and was able to help mold her and get her on Instagram and, really grow the business that way. So I think it's just important for, if you've got an idea or you haven't got an idea, come and try. We're not school.
Mm-hmm.
We're really quite fun, interactive, engaging. As I said, they're real business owners. You can ask them different questions. We also have like motivational speakers that will come in, having representation from your local community. People are doing who sat where they were once before, at the beginning with an idea, and they'll talk them through their journey.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll let them know at no point do we ever sell, starting your own business and running a business is really easy. No, we do not give any, false illusions. And the speakers will come in, they'll talk about their journey, they'll tell them they've had phones slammed down, doors shut in their faces, and they've had to constantly be really committed and just keep calling and keep trying until that one door open. And when that one door does open, doors will start opening after that. So it really is a case of you might be scared, you might think there's a risk involved, but we're here to help and mentor you through that. We're here to really support you. So, I think we're in a time where we need to build up the economy, build up the black pound.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think we should all come together. And we're not even trying to promote exclusivity to one race. We really are about social integration as well. But I think it's really important that our young black um, males and females really are able to see that they do belong in this society. There is a place for them, that they are of value. And for me, that's kind of like one of the most important things. I think entrepreneurship is almost the vehicle, but I really want them to be able to build their confidence, teach them how to focus on their goals so they can keep achieving and not start and stop. And again, I go into schools and I run the same business startup courses there with the GCSE level students as well. And again, just the focus that they have by the end of the time that I'm in there. And you can visibly see a reduction in their behavior as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I just feel there's just so much value in the workshop, one in the entrepreneur workshop that I offer, but also in the workshops that the other ladies are delivering as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, I mean, it all sounds fantastic, but given we're in this COVID era,
Mm,
is it
mm.
also a case that they can continue their training from home via their social media computer or?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely the opportunity for that. I personally feel that the initial session should be face to face, and we're operating COVID safe environments. We're keeping the social distancing, wearing face masks, we've got all the sanitizers, etc. And the reason for that is because there's a real value in them actually coming together and mixing with people that they wouldn't normally mix with,
Mm-hmm.
as you mentioned, like the different postcodes as well. Just even really understanding that people are actually people. They've got the same needs, wants, aspirations. They share the same humor. Things like that really kind of like make a difference. And then from then on, the follow-ups. There's Zoom or Microsoft Teams, and there's always the online approach, and you've got like the community that's already grown like on Instagram as well. But I do think initially, I think that I mean, again with Zoom, just going back to Zoom as well, where they can actually hide behind a screen, and this whole thing is really about building up their confidence. So just being together with other people physically, I love when I see they kind of like come in and they, shoulders slouch, eyes not looking anywhere, and by the end of it, they're like
Yeah,
swapping numbers with
alert.
each other, and it's like they're starting to make friendships and form a
Yeah,
network, and that's really what it is all about. So,
yeah.
we will be running workshops the third week in August,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll probably run from fund independent. They'll be run later on during the year, but for the third week in August, we will be running free workshops. So I do encourage everybody to come out, send your kids, nieces, nephews, etc., so they can really take on the value and see what we're really trying to share with them.
Okay, well, again, I'm really excited. I mean, Edmonton
Yeah,
Green is well central. There's a lot of empty space in the green that needs to be utilized, and there's no better people
definitely.
to give it to than our young people. you know.
Mm,
But again, they need to be guided, because if they're left to their own measures, they can be quite destructive, because they've lost that ability to socialize for whatever
yes,
reason.
exactly.
And we've got to, at every opportunity, embrace that communal harmony, that peace. And
Yeah.
I don't really see the difficulty, because for one who grew up in the West Indies, and it was courteous for us to say morning, afternoon, and
Mm,
evening, and you can see that is missing within our society. We don't
I
acknowledge
think it
each
is.
other, but when we need
Yeah.
help, we want to call out, and we don't know who to call out to, you know. So
Hmm.
it's not really complicated. It's just to have that will, but we need to have a
Yeah.
common goal, you know. So I do believe you're offering, and the media, again, the images that it projects oftentimes
Mm,
leads us to illusions. So we need to
mm,
really seize control of our media, what images that we project out there, because
yeah,
the
definitely.
mainstream, they find it a problem to have us as representative, because obviously we're going to be projecting the truth, and they seem to be doing the opposite. You know, they seem to want to be in the center of everything, and that we can't do anything for ourselves. You know,
Mm,
so yeah, I'm so pleased in that you guys got, there's a team. You know, and
yeah, definitely.
as much as I'd approach yourself, because I reckon to myself that you could have given an overview for everybody, but nonetheless, you made it that you said, well, instead of just yourself, why not the
Yeah,
team come and
exactly.
and represent themselves, you know? So,
Yeah, exactly.
you
And
know, so
we're a
we've,
collective, but I think when you're selling what you do, no one sells it better than yourself. So
hmm
I think it's important that you get to meet the team. One member of the team's unable to join today, and that's
okay,
Linda, and she's the founder of Creative Vision, and
hmm
she will be running workshops that will be combining design with well-being.
hmm
So, and it'll be again project based and enabling the young people, and they're from ages of about six, between the ages of 5 to 14,
hmm
and enable them to work on different projects and being given like a scenario that they have to find a solution to, and using different forms of creativity to actually come up with that solution. So that's quite an exciting way of working for them as well. So
hmm
again, these are just some of the different types of workshops that we'll be offering the
hmm
young people at the Edmonton Green Digital Media and Technology Centre.
Okay. Well, I wasn't able to spend the time. I wasn't able to stay late enough to be involved with the workshops. I went
Mm.
off to Tottenham. So I saw there was one camera there. So is it that you've got a setup whereby you've got people that can go out in the community with a camera to find out from amongst young people what it is that they want, and then we can document and project that? Is that
Yeah,
what the
well,
creative vision
yeah,
will
it's
be
quite.
doing?
Yes, and potentially. I mean, we've been going out. We went out last week and we're speaking to the young people, just promoting the event, and we're going out again this Friday. So potentially we could actually ask permission to actually film and ask them what it is that they require. I know it is something that Colin does, and he does post on Twitter and on the website as well.
hmm
But yeah, I mean, because I think at the end of the day, we want to deliver something that the young people want. I mean, these are like tried and tested, but these are, for the area of Edmonton, what is it that the young people want? And, when I was speaking to them, again, just speaking to them about starting a business, the eyes lit up. And again, the other things we're offering, like the 3D printing and 3D drawing. Again, even that was like a big wow moment for them as well. So you can see there's a real keenness for something different and to get involved. And just us being interested in what they're interested in, you could just see there was like, oh yeah, we don't mind stopping and talking to you and finding out what it is that you're offering us and telling you a bit about what we're interested in. So yeah, if we can document that, by all means, we'll definitely do that, because as I say, it's all about promotion, and the more we get, um, the more that we're able to offer and to do it successfully, the
hmm
more funding we'll get, and the longer we'll be able to do it and to consistently support the young people.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's all fantastic, you know. Okay. So, what is it, or who is it that you'd propose was for us to hear from next?
So so next you'll be hearing from B Moore, and B is the founder of Witty Ditty Designs. So I
Okay.
shall bid you farewell and thank you again for just having me and the rest of us on your show, and continue what you're doing. And thank you so much for all your support. And obviously, we shall speak regarding banking too.
Yeah, well, I can only say, obviously, it's not going to be farewell
No,
because
definitely not.
I myself have committed to work with yourself, work with
Yeah,
Colin,
yeah,
because we know the significance of this time. We know the struggles that we've been through over the past 20 odd years. You know, we've
yeah.
seen as to how Enfield Council has not given us the opportunities. So we've got to hold them to account
Council,
collectively
definitely.
to make sure
Yeah,
what is presently a request becomes more or less a demand.
yeah,
So we need to galvanize our community. We need to, if possible, to put petition. We need to establish membership so that we are a collective force that cannot be ignored. And when we
definitely.
present ourselves as a collective, as not, and not as an individual, you know. So I'm very much looking forward to us working
Thank
and
you, definitely.
to realize our full potential, and also to us working with the other boroughs as
Yeah,
neighbors to enable us to do what we need to do, because we haven't really got a venue to um, steer the young people towards that they can socialize, as when we had Heros as an example. So we will have
mm.
to work with Haringey,
Yeah,
with the cultural industries that Bernie Grant had through his vision
set up.
established,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
So our creativity is part of our long-term
culture.
well-being, and
Yeah, definitely.
that needs to be presented in a professional manner, like yourselves are presently intent on doing. So yeah, I salute yourself, and I look forward to the sister next is coming up. So I'll just be playing
Lovely.
some music, thanking you for your time, your effort, your endurance, your actually the journey that you had been on to have now taken you back to where you had more or less had
Yeah,
started. And
full
obviously in
circle. That's
between that
right.
period of time you've now got your young family, or they may be not
Yes.
as young as when you first left.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right, Clive. We don't have to keep reminding people of my age.
No, 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 no. I was talking about your family because you had mentioned that you started your family. So
Oh
I'm not sure what age they're at now, but you know what I'm saying,
no.
it's duty means that we have to remain focused, because it's all about them to a certain extent. You know, they are
It
the
truly is.
future.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of like where the vision started as well. So you're completely right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know. Okay,
But
my sister, thank you for
thank
your
you so
time
much.
and your
Thank
continued
you for the
support for the
opportunity.
community.
Thank you
Okay?
very much. You take
Okay.
care. Yours
Blessed
too. Take care.
love, more
Bye for now.
strength.
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with the rising sun. Three little birds, it's by
Oh,
my
hello.
doorstep,
Greetings.
singing.
How are you doing? B. Okay, okay. Um, right. Can you speak again?
Hello, hello, hello.
Okay, okay, okay. I've got you on the system now. Yeah,
Okay,
I was in the process of saying don't worry about a thing, everything's gonna be alright, and then you came in, I was playing a Bob Marley.
so
I thought I'd gather some breath, you know, because
yeah, no, I mean, I was enjoying that actually. I just thought I'd phone just to make sure that I could get through, really. But
Okay.
Shame. I didn't mean to cut Bob.
No, 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 no. It's all good. Continuity is always a good thing because it means the momentum is maintained.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So right. Remind me of what your establishment is.
My establishment is called Witty Ditty Design.
Okay. Witty
Uh,
design.
yeah, Witty Ditty. It basically my age the age group that I try and mentor is slightly younger than Alfie's. My age group is between six and
16.
what? Yeah, 6 and 16. Probably up until now, it's been more 6 to 14, but I'm trying to up it a little bit with some of the 3D stuff that I do. I think older kids would be interested in that,
Mm-hmm.
so that's what I do. And I originally I'm a graphic designer by trade,
Okay.
and I basically have worked for many years, like, in the graphic design. And so I was a graphic designer, worked my way up, became an art director, and I worked basically for lots of different design agencies in London and marketing agencies. And the kind of agencies I worked for were specialist agencies that dealt with charities. I used to work for your corporate type design agencies, and I just found them a little bit, there's more to life than making a booklet that
A
looks
fast
pretty,
buck.
and I wanted to do something where I could use my design skills in a little bit more of a better way. So I ended up doing a lot of work working for agencies that worked for charity organisations. So people
Okay.
like Greenpeace, Friends of the Earth,
Mm-hmm.
the NFPCC, all the big charities you can think of. I've done a lot of work for those kind of people, including the Royal Academy of Art,
Wow.
um, people like that.
Okay. And you live within the London Borough of Enfield?
I'm in, funny, well, not Enfield, I'm in Tottenham.
Oh, you're
I
in
live
Tottenham.
in
Okay.
Haringey.
See, there,
But
there, there, there it goes again. Yeah,
yeah.
well, I'm sure we've got that skill set in Enfield, but we seem to keep our heads below the radar for whatever reason.
Well, the common denominator here is Colin. So Althea, obviously, as you know, he's her touch point. That's how she got involved in this, and that's exactly the same thing for me.
Hmm.
Even though I'm in Tottenham, I've got involved in this Enfield project through Colin.
Okay. Okay, well, I was saying to Althea that because Enfield, we don't have a venue as such that would
Mm.
facilitate our youngsters as we had before. Because before I used to put on events for them at the Heroes nightclub under the auspices
Mm.
of War Blow,
Mm.
and this was before all of these killings and that was taking place.
Mm.
So we,
Mm.
we do need somewhere they can channel their energy in
Yeah,
a
definitely.
positive way and to take
Mm.
their creativity and to project it in a
Yeah,
meaningful way so that it can be a business for them, you know.
yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, I'm really excited. Obviously, I was honored to have been well, one invited, and albeit I wasn't sure what to do because I had so many things to do that day that I thought, they say you must dance a yard before you go dance abroad. So I thought it best to take a stock, what's happening locally, before I
Yeah,
then went out to venture.
yeah.
So I was really pleased, and it's becoming like a norm now. Every week I tend not to um, preempt my show,
Yeah.
so I tend to keep it real because I know I'm
Mm.
engaging because I'm a community activist. I'm always going to be out there. I'm always going to be meeting interesting people,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
because I think it is for more so our young people and their well-being, their future, that I'm always going to get somebody, who share the same concerns and want to
Yeah.
make a difference in our young people's life. So yeah, I'm really honored and was touched to hear what was being said, albeit every time you listen it delays you a little bit more. I wasn't able to get into the workshop to see actually
Oh,
first
that's a
and what
shame.
was happening,
Mm.
how it was done. But again, I do look forward to coming into the
Well, when we
premise.
run our pilot, you should pop by
Yeah,
and see
well, I
what we're
live
up
in
to.
Edmonton, so
Yeah.
it's en route to leaving the area. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's within walking distance for me. Yeah. So yeah, I'm really excited. So yeah, what it is that you want to be telling the parents and the youngsters who may well be out there listening, because what is
Well,
so witty ditty?
yeah. So I guess what I would like to say to them is that they should, especially right now when with all that's going on and children definitely need an outlet. They should, if they can, come and investigate what we're doing. So because we're basically, as I think After has already said, we realise that there's a need out there. It's funny enough, in a weird way. I've been, as I said, I'm a graphic designer by trade, and I, I stopped working in London when I got my little boy, because I suddenly realised that it was, as a graphic designer, you have to be in at about 9 o'clock, and sometimes you don't get home till God knows what time, because it's all about the client, the client, the client. And I realised I couldn't do that with a little boy, so I had to sort of rethink what I was going to do. And I have all these skills, and like any skill, if you don't hone them and you don't keep them, they do go a little bit blunt. And
Yeah.
I just thought, I don't want to lose all my skills. And so what can I do to keep them? And I kind of, by talking to a mum that I met one day when I'd gone to see my other son, my stepson, play rugby, she was telling me about this amazing, this is about, bearing in mind this is about 3 years ago, she was telling me about this amazing new, not even new, but at the time, um, initiative that a lot of schools didn't seem to be taking up, which was all about STEM skills, which is what
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah. Yeah. I've
specialising
heard
in.
about that. That's the
Yeah,
science
so
and
science,
technology
technology, engineering, and art,
and
which has been
mathematics.
so it's actually STEAM now,
Yeah.
art and math. And she sort of explained it to me, and asked, and she was running um, a small little group in South London, and she said, "Come along, see what you think." And I went along, and I fell in love with it. I fell in love with the whole idea of tech, 3D printing, the laser cut, all the things that you can do, combined with art, which is what it just blew my mind. And I'm a grown up who knows all about design anyway. And I was thinking, if this is blowing my mind, then can you imagine what it's like for the kids? And once I'd sort of learned a little bit more about it, I came back to Haringey and realised there wasn't really that much at the time. Now there is, but at the time there wasn't that much going on. And I thought, right, I've got to do something. And I basically, through collaborating with other organisations, I basically banged on as many doors as I could to try and set up a club. And I went to my local library and practically pestered them all summer, saying, I need a room. This is what I want to do. I want to get all the local kids to come, and this is what we do. This is all the equipment. These are the 3D printers we use. This is the 3D design software that we use. And it took a little time because they were a little bit like, what is, and
Skeptical.
then I just found that one person who was like, whoa, this sounds fantastic. Yes. And then we got into the library, the Marcus Garvey Library in Haringey.
Okay. Okay.
Do you know it? The one in,
That's in Tottenham
yeah, that's
by the
right, in
swimming
Tottenham.
pool.
Yes, there.
Yeah.
So I was running it was called the Witty Ditty Tech Club, and I was there basically all last year and all through the term. And it was basically an after school. I ran it as an after school club, and it was great. And we were building it slowly. Plus, I was going around and just like I was Redbridge, South London, wherever I could spread the word about tech and graphic design
Okay.
and art. And we were doing okay. And then that's kind of how I met Colin, because through the collaborations that I was involved in, one of the people that I was involved with knew Colin, introduced me to him. He was like, that's what I want to do, but I want to bring it to Edmonton. We need to work together. You know how persuasive he can be. So that's how I met Colin and his lovely wife, Kabira. And we kept in touch, basically. And then this year he got in touch and said, right, I found a place. I want you to be involved. Can you bring your tech and your graphic design ideas to the centre? And I just was like you. I was like, yeah, this is great. I want to be involved. So that's basically how I got into
Oh,
working at the centre with Colin.
yeah.
But yeah, I've lots and lots of years of experience as a graphic designer, which I want to pass on.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
I can only say thank you. I don't even know why I'm telling you thank you because I'm not seeing the benefit, but thank you for bringing that into Enfield because we're so lagging and we need to hold our council to account and even ourselves to account
yeah,
as
yeah,
Enfield resident because for whatever reason I have concluded that we're in our slumber, we are sleeping. It's like we're waiting for somebody to come and deliver, for us. And even when we
mm,
deliver, there are those who just still sit back and just watch you and just we have a saying where we say susu susu. That's all they do, just talk, talk,
mm.
talk. But I'm one who is
Sometimes people need. If you know what they say, you can't be what you can't see. Sometimes people around you need people. If you see people around you doing something positive, then you can do something positive. Sometimes you just need to see it happening, which is what I think. Hopefully, the media centre will be. It will be that hub,
yeah.
that interest that will get people, out of that
Well,
mindset.
that's why I'm so excited because obviously, I mean, I've been trying for years myself. Yeah,
Mm.
well, what myself and Colin when he had AD 2000, all those years, we
Yeah.
started together. But then we
Mm.
got frustrated and everything then just fell apart to a certain
Mm.
extent. And I
Mm.
then took the political journey because we weren't getting the political support. So I went into politics. Then you go
Mm.
into politics. If you don't toe the line and do things the way they want you to do, which is basically doing nothing, then you
Mm.
and them will fall out, which is what happened
Yeah.
with myself and them. So
Mm.
we've coming back 20 odd years, maybe 30 years later, and said, something, Colin, we have to do this thing because nobody's gonna do it for us. But at the
Yeah.
same
That's
time, I'm still saying our community, the elders, those of us,
mm.
because I came to Edmonton Enfield when there were a handful of families. So when you
Mm.
see a blackhead at the end of the road, you just know you knew that person. Now we're
Yeah.
lost amongst ourselves and everybody's forever just watching. But we who are the core group, the foundation, we need to take responsibility and to step up. And a number of us are successful like
Mm.
within business and things like that, but we're failing to do
Yeah.
what we need to do. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it is not easy. When I'm
No.
saying that we tend to be there susu watching one another, and then instead of helping, oftentimes we're putting our mouth in it and hindering. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm.
I'm here showing as an example. Listen, me and Colin, we are one on this thing because we know it's needed.
Yeah.
And whilst we're in this COVID, there's an opportunity, you know.
It's changed things, hasn't it? COVID. I think it has. It's in a weird, kind of slightly sad way because of the amount of poor people who are suffering from it. But it's kind of opens people's eyes a lot. I think.
Yeah, well, I'm
To
hoping it is an awareness, but at the
mm.
same time, I'm still saying there's a number of us who are in rehab. Yeah,
Mm.
we've locked
Mm.
ourselves indoors. We've gone along with what has been said about COVID, and we're somewhat embarrassed to take ourselves out and say, maybe this thing isn't as they're saying it to be, because common
Mm.
sense has totally gone out the window. Yeah, but at the same time, I can't be irresponsible to say, well, it don't gossip.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we still have to move forward with caution. So we do what we need to be seen to be doing, but at the
Yeah.
same time, we need to grab the bull by its horn. Yeah, and
But
it's not.
so are you sort of saying that you think a lot of people have almost become a bit scared to get themselves back out there and doing stuff? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Because of COVID.
most
Mm.
definitely. And the best
Mm.
time to do it again is in the summer. Like I've been holding events, but I've
Mm.
strategically been targeting open here in the
That's right.
parks.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
because
right.
there you can social distance.
Yeah.
You see,
I mean,
but
that's how we ran the thing on Saturday. It was all very much. Luckily, thank God, the weather was great, so
yeah,
most of
yeah,
it was outside. Yeah.
yeah, it has to
Mm.
be in the open, and the fact that you're in Tottenham, I did something for because of my good brother Douglas Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you should know him if obviously.
Oh God. Don't put me on the spot, Douglas Williams. Douglas Williams.
Okay, okay. Well, you being in Tottenham, he's my good brother, you know. And
Yeah.
yeah, we started this 1,000 drum salute in honor of him because we could
Oh,
see that a number of our loved ones that were lost weren't being afforded the spiritual rites of passage because even the church is closed down.
mm.
You understand? And within our
Yeah.
culture, if there are things that pull us together is weddings, christening, funerals, any of them
Okay.
things that we're there
Mm.
in great numbers, you know. So if you
Yeah.
take that away from us in a time where prophecy is being fulfilled, yeah,
Mm.
it's going to
Mm.
leave us very much again in the dark, in the lurch, you know. So yeah, we have to seize this moment
Yeah.
and to realize ourselves as being a village all over again and
Yeah.
then to move
Definitely.
ourselves forward. So
Yeah.
what you're doing and the time that you're starting, hopefully it's going to be a movement that is going to
Yeah.
move the young generation to the extent that it's going to open up their eyes because
Yeah.
your creativity is like it's a new space. It's an
Yeah.
environment that you go out, you go
Yeah.
in, and
Yeah.
through the expansion of your mindsets and all of those things, you can create an environment which is harmonious, you know, in a manner that
Yeah.
you would see fit. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah. And
it's
one of the things that we also want to do, I mean, it's interesting because Alfie was saying that for her, it's better to have people come face to face. I mean, actually, no matter what kind of workshop you do, it's always preferable to have young people and children in your space so you can interact with them. But I think because the kids that I work with and the other lady you'll probably talk to another time, um, we work with, they're quite young. We actually do Zoom sessions. I've run some Zoom sessions over summer where I did a project over 3 months where I working with kids between the ages of 6 and 10. And a lot of it was done on Zoom. And what I found is, yes, it's not as great as being in the same room, but it's still okay, especially for the younger kids. And they do interact over, because they can all see each other, and they do end up interacting. And at least it's better than nothing. And actually, what you can do then is build confidence. And say, for example, you know, they've been doing a Zoom session with you, and you say, look, next week, tell mum and dad that we'd like you to come in to the centre, even if it's just for half an hour or whatever, you know, because they know you and they've been talking to you over Zoom. That's a step that they might take. Whereas if they don't know what's happening and who's going to be in that centre, they might not come.
yeah,
So sometimes doing internet courses and workshops can help build their confidence so they then take the next step and come to wherever you are in these times.
it's that interactive, and again, that to a certain extent explains the dangers that our youngsters are exposed to when they're on the
Mm,
internet, you know, on
mm,
that social media, because
mm,
oftentimes they're led down a path that they think is safe. Yeah. So
yeah,
again, we do have to be mindful and to make sure we have the parental consent, and we need to educate them that
absolutely.
everything that we do,
Yeah,
there has to be parental consent.
absolutely,
You
absolutely.
know what I'm
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
saying?
absolutely.
You
And
have,
actually, one of the courses, I'm pretty sure that one of the courses that Colin wants to address that, he wants to try and get the kids to come and do awareness in how to use social media and partly in a way where if you want to set up your own business, how to use it, but also how to stay safe. One of the ladies that we have, unfortunately, she couldn't take part tonight. But her workshop, she works with children the same age as me, and her
okay.
workshop is all about mental health as well as art. So using creativity and art to help children and young people with their mental health.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think that's what's really interesting about this place that Colin is opening is that, yes, we're doing tech, yes, we're doing, you know, fun, funky stuff, but we're also doing healthy stuff as well, stuff that's going to help the children in other ways, as well as to do with employment and and the future.
Yeah, well, it's essential because we have to have some preventative measures in place because
Mm.
we're catching them at a young enough age where we can influence and they can influence themselves. You know,
Yeah,
so that is the key. I mean, it goes without saying that, You know, you have to, what do you say, you catch them young in order to get them in a way that,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
otherwise
Exactly.
when you do it
Exactly.
too late, it ain't gonna be of good, and there's gonna be a lot of resentment because it's
Yeah.
just like the teenagers. Once they reach a certain, they think that they know everything. They're not for listening no
Yeah.
more. You know.
But it is really interesting, especially with teenagers, to see. You know, I've had the same thing that Alfie was saying, where a young man or a young woman might come in and be a little bit like, "Go on, then, impress me," kind of attitude,
Mm.
and then after 20 minutes of you telling them about STEM and showing them some amazing stuff and using 3D pens and 3D technology, or just showing them a bit about graphic design or whatever it might be, it's
Mhm.
like a wow moment. Because one of the things I'm really passionate about is the fact that my industry is quite hidden. You know, I only knew about becoming a graphic designer not because anybody in my school ever talked about it. There was no, I didn't even know that world existed. I was very lucky that I had a teacher who was really interested in the people she taught. And if she noticed you had a skill, she would be on it. And she noticed that I was brilliant at drawing, if I say so myself, but I was good at drawing.
Mhm.
But I didn't want to be an art teacher, and I thought that was the only avenue. And she was like, no, 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 no. And she told me all about the design world
Mhm.
and what this entailed. And she took myself and a group of kids from the class to visit a design agency in London, and that was it.
Mhm.
And that's what I was hooked, and I knew that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a graphic designer, and that's what I want to do with these young kids that are going to come to the
Come to
centre.
the
I
center.
want to tell them all about this world that a lot of them don't even know
Yeah.
is out there.
Yeah. Well, there is some things I don't know. This 3D tech that was mentioned. You know, I've
Yeah.
seen a snippet of it on TV, but it's hard to believe what it's seen because it seemed like there's a bit of a deception. But I know it's not a deception because
Mm.
it's still real. Yeah, but
Yeah, yeah,
it's to understand how it does happen. Yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Well, the lady who's going to come on after me, she'll talk to you more about 3D printing because that's what she does. I do 3D drawing where I teach children say to design a logo. So I get them
Mhm.
to think of who they want. Say it might be based on their name.
Mhm.
If you had a nickname, how would you? So I teach them about typography, font, how you use font, what type of font you would use and what type of font you wouldn't use. And if you were designing a logo for yourself or for a company,
Mhm.
what is an appropriate look for that
Look.
company? And
Okay.
then normally you would then design that on a computer and print it out. But what
Mhm.
I get them to do once they've designed it is to then 3D draw it using a
Mhm.
3D pen, which is brilliant. And it
Mhm.
becomes a 2D flat object becomes something 3D that they
3D.
can put on a key ring
Mhm.
or whatever. So
Okay.
you're right. It's a bit like magic, and but it's cool. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
well, I'm gonna want for you guys to work some magic because obviously, I mean, I've got some ideas. I've got a vision document. You know, I've been sitting on it for 15 years. You know, so maybe
Mm.
it's that I've been waiting for this opportunity
Yeah,
to
yeah,
present itself. You know,
mm.
but
Yeah.
it's not a normal it's not a normal thing. But I'll
Mm.
wait until I meet with yourselves. You know, it's gonna be
Yeah.
for the benefit overall for our youngsters out there because the predecessor to it was War Blow, you know,
Mm.
and
Mm.
I've got Dance Relief. There's Dance Relief, War Blow, and the final one was where we're at now is some real active structured supported solutions.
Mm.
Yeah, that's it's very
Mm.
much a
Mm.
mouthful, but
Yes.
if you realize the acronym, then that's what our logo is going to represent. When I did
Oh.
it, I did the S's, two of the S's back to front, and it gave a bow tie, as to say, well,
Oh.
graduation,
Wow.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice.
But I'll be able to share that with you at some point.
Yeah.
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 But yeah,
Definitely
for
good.
now, it's
Good.
very much about what it is that you're offering to the listeners through their parents and to your youngsters that is going to open up their mindset as to
Yeah.
their potential and their
That's right.
creativity.
Yeah. And one of the most important things to say is that at the moment we're not funded, but we really need people. Anyone out there who can help us with funding
Mhm.
so that we can get this centre to be there permanently and for the long haul. We
Yeah.
don't want this to be an overnight, Friday night thing. We want it to be there for as long as possible and have as
Okay.
many people and collaborations coming as possible. So getting funders interested is also key.
Yeah, well, again, we can do that by us establishing membership so that we can show
Yeah,
that there's a demand.
yeah,
Petition oftentimes we can use. It
yeah.
so happened that I know our local MP, our offices is within the green.
Mm,
Yeah. So
right.
we
Mm,
just need to be able to press the right buttons
buttons. Yes.
and to
Yeah.
show these people that, yeah, we are in support of, but we're supporting because of what you supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm 100% with yourselves. I will
Mm,
be there in order to help to assist. My advantage is the fact that I've been involved in local politics, so I have an idea as to how these institutions they
mm.
functions. I'll be able to pinpoint their failings and where possible to expose them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how we need to do it in order for our youngsters to trust and to believe in us more,
Yeah.
because we can't be
Trust.
making them
Yeah.
promises that ain't
No.
gonna be realized
Absolutely.
and turn into anything.
That's why the centre, it needs to be somewhere that they know it's going to be there, and it's
Hmm.
somewhere that's for them. And
Well, it's there. It's
mm,
it's there. It's for us to make it functional and for us
mm,
to regenerate ourselves. So I'll
mm,
be coming to yourselves with an idea to regenerate,
yeah.
and
Well,
what
yeah.
yeah, and then
Sorry.
once we've got that up and running, then people
Hmm.
will be trying to jump on board.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Well,
understand? Because
yeah.
they
Go ahead.
realize that they should be involved. They're missing
Yeah.
out on something.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think as we said, the last week of or the third week in August, we're running a pilot, which is
Hmm.
free. And just if anyone out there wants to come along and have a look and bring let their teenagers or children know about it, feel free.
Okay.
And if
Well,
and anyone wants to know anything more, they can always contact Colin or any
yeah,
of us really.
yeah. Well, that's what I was gonna say because obviously I hadn't invited him to come on today, but I think from what you're saying, 2 weeks down the road, it would be good to get him in,
Yeah,
and in
definitely.
order for him to sell the aims objectives,
Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
to make sure that we're up and running in the right direction so that we're
yeah.
fulfilling his vision.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
so you need to
absolutely right.
share that with the general public out there, and
Yeah,
then for us to move ourselves forward.
yeah,
So yeah, most definitely I will speak to Colin, and couple of weeks time we'll get him in the studio, or he could do likewise, yeah,
yeah,
from home, yeah, to
yeah,
engage in this conversation, and yeah, for us to identify who we need to be probing or probing
yeah,
or poking in their ribs to make sure them you know
yeah.
come to some awareness as to what's happening, because we can't do it on our own. We have to do it as a collective.
That's right.
But to hold those to account who are in that position of authority, are supposed to be
That's right.
doing, and make sure that the funds go in the right direction, because the funds are there.
They are. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
the funds are
exactly.
there, but some
Mhm.
people are taking what
Mhm.
doesn't rightfully belong to them.
Mm.
Yeah, and
Mm.
that's because our what you say, our political representations are not doing their job properly.
Mhm.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
understand? I know that. Colin know that. A number of us knows that. You
Yeah.
understand? So we need to
Yeah.
probably weed them out and put representations in among even the youngsters. We need to get youngsters elected
That's
on the
right.
council so that when things come in, they are aware of it. You know,
That's right.
one of
Yes.
the successes I know when I was a council was to establish a youth council, and I don't know what it is they're doing. If obviously they've lost their clout, or what clout they had, you know what I'm saying.
Mm.
But these are the things that we need to do, and to bring about the awareness amongst them. You
Yeah.
know. So
Totally.
yeah, I commend yourself. For
Thank
the good
you.
works to which you are doing, will continue to do, and I'm
Thank you.
happy to have made your acquaintance,
And you,
and
And you.
I can commit myself to was it 21st K Media?
21, the Edmonton Green Media Centre, Digital
Edmonton
Media
Green
Centre.
Media Center. So
Digital. The key word there is Digital Media Centre.
digital center. Okay,
Yeah.
so have you not put your name up as yet?
It's actually, I don't know if he has put. Not sure if he has put it on the actual
Okay.
premises.
Well,
Yet.
it might be just a banner. It's 21K
Oh, we've got a
digital.
banner. Oh, yeah, we've got a banner.
Yeah,
We've
21K
got,
digital media.
yeah.
Okay,
Centre.
and that is in
21K Digital Media Centre.
yeah, that is in Edmonton Green. Is there a website? Yeah, I've got
Yeah,
email hello at
that's it.
21digitalmedia.com.
That's it.
Okay,
And
okay,
there is a website as well. Same thing. I think it's 21K Digital Media.
okay, okay. All right. Well, in the next couple of weeks, then I hope to be interviewing the founder, who is Mr. Colin Lee Owen, and he will elaborate more further on, yeah, the direction that he would like to see this going in, and how we are going to get all the support that is necessary by probing the local authorities, business, and everybody who is of interest to our young people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Thank you so
Okay.
much. Thank you for
No,
doing
well,
this.
thank you, for the good steward work that you're doing. Yeah, and
Yeah.
thank you again for you, what do you say, crossing the border to us. Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's more
Well,
love.
no, it's North London. It's all North London, isn't
Yeah,
it? Right?
I
All
know
North
that.
Londoners.
I'm in Haringey right now.
Yeah. How are you?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I'm in
yeah.
here. But yeah, I'm an old soldier, you know what I mean? So we
Yeah.
can't put down the baton until there's a hand for it to be received in.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Absolutely.
we're doing what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
my sister is your sister? Oh, who else is there?
SK, Sharon K.
Yeah, is
Sharon
she
K.
still
Yeah, good
available?
help. She is, and she's going
She
to be
is.
calling us. Yeah.
Okay, well, let us give her some time because I need to
Yeah.
be able to wind down at the latter part. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, my
All right.
salute to you, my sister.
Okay,
God's
then.
richest
Thank you for listening.
blessings. Good
Oh,
health, good strength, and everything.
you too. God
Okay.
bless.
Yeah. God bless.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye then. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Respect manners. Right. Let's play a tune. Jano.
Enemies of Jah, and know that the Lord God Jah the Almighty shall wound the head of his enemies. Jah, Rastafari, Haile Selassie the first. Oh, let God arise, let his enemies be scattered. Let them also that hate him will flee before him. As smoke is driven away, so drive them away. As wax melted before the fire, so let the wicked perish at the presence of God. Oh, let the righteous be glad. Let them rejoice before God, yea, let them exceedingly rejoice. Sing unto God, sing praises to his name, extol him that rideth on the heavens by his name. Jah, Rastafari, Haile Selassie the first, our Father, strength and Redeemer, who lives and rules and reigns over all living things. A Father of the fatherless, and a judge of the widows, is God in his holy habitation. God set up the solitary in families. He bringeth out those which are bound with chains. For the rebellious dwell in dry land. O God, Jah Rastafari, Selassie, Father, strength and Redeemer, when thou wentest forth before thy people. When thou did march through the wilderness, Selah, the earth shook, the heavens also dropped at the presence of God. Even Shinar itself was moved at the presence of God, Jah Rastafari, Selassie the first, the God of Israel. Though, O God, Jah Rastafari, Selassie, our Father, strength and Redeemer, did send a plentiful rain, whereby thou did confirm thine inheritance when it was weary. Thy congregation hath dwelt therein. Though, O God, Jah Rastafari, Selassie, our Father, strength and Redeemer, has prepared of thy goodness.
Greetings, greetings.
Hello, hi. It's Sharon
Okay.
K here.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm not too bad, I'm trying to get a music in between the break, but it's like this relay race and I'm running it tight.
Okay. So
Yeah.
what do you want me to do then?
No, 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 no. We're gonna continue. We're gonna talk. Obviously, I have to salute yourselves for the steward work that you guys are doing. I was fortunate to have been at your pre-launch on Saturday afternoon, and I must apologize to the fact that I was to take myself away, but I'd committed myself to take a stand with my colleagues down there in Tottenham, because we need to remain shoulder to shoulder and to maintain this movement and resilience, because there's been so much injustices that our community has been suffering from over these years. And whilst we've got this Black Lives Matter situation, we need to seize the moment, you know. But yeah, aside from that, my sister, obviously, we're dealing with our next generation, which is our youngers up there in Edmonton, where I am presently residing. So I can only obviously embrace what it is that you're doing and the challenges which you're facing. And yeah, the flat platform is yours for you to tell us what it is that you are doing and how I can help and how the general public out there can further help in order to make this vision be realized.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for taking the time to getting us all on to talk about our programs. I am a interior designer who specializes in tech, and I love and I'm very passionate about designing and making um, bespoke furniture. That's what I do. I love to make furniture. But what I do is I use the traditional skills that we have
Mm-hmm.
and fuse that with technology. So
Okay.
I also use like CNC machines, which is a huge machine that can you can design and it cuts everything out for you, and all you have to do is assemble. I also use a 3D printing for prototyping,
Okay.
and that's what I really want to kind of introduce young
People
people
to.
into the 3D printing so they can get an idea of getting concepts
Mm-hmm.
and um, designing and making stuff. But the program I'm running is a life skills program because
Okay.
I'm just seeing that there are so many young people out there who don't have the relevant tools or awareness to kind of navigate their way through a society with that has so many obstacles that stop them,
Mm-hmm.
and they tend to kind of just give up. So I just
Okay.
saw
Well,
of
I suppose I can understand that to a certain extent. It goes with the old saying, it was like a chip on your shoulder. It's like they're burdened
exactly,
down with this belief that society isn't there for them, and to a certain extent,
exactly.
they're 100% right, because
They are.
the institutions out there are failing them, and they're failing them by design.
Mhm.
And we as parents, we're not really realizing these things, because we expect
Exactly.
our children to go university, graduate, and then from there
Mhm.
there's going to be a job, but the truth of the matter is they graduate and they need to start their own business.
Exactly.
So I'm
Exactly.
taking it that's the perspective to which you're coming from, is to equip them with these life skills that will give them this independence to launch themselves out
Exactly.
there, because they are,
Exactly.
what I've experienced is that we are that creative force. Western society can't do without us. You look in the
No.
music industry, they just sit back and collect the royalties, and that's for
Exactly.
something that they've not done. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But in everything, you need to realize they can't get there unless they go through us. So
Exactly.
we need to exploit ourselves for our benefit. So.
And it's hard. It is hard for our youngsters because they don't know. It's hard for us adults trying to get people to listen to us. So can you imagine being a youngster who doesn't have those tools or doesn't have the know-how,
mm,
what
well,
it is for them to go out there? We keep saying, we want them to go out there, but if we don't give them the tools, then they're not going to be able to do it.
yeah, I know, but oftentimes the tools amongst ourselves is trust, and
Mhm.
we've lost the trust amongst ourselves. I'm
Mhm.
of that generation that we used to throw partners.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And then over a period of time, we got selfish,
Very much
right?
so.
Not realizing the impact it's gonna have on us later on down the road. Yeah, so we're now suffering because we can't trust each other. A lot of us, you'll see, we're driving nice car, we have our homes, but we can't come together as a collective. Yeah,
That's what's
and
nice about the programs that what we're offering, because it's a group of people who have seen all of the issues, and we've just decided to come together and utilize all of our skills and throw it out there. And we really need people to come in, and see what we're about, because it will help. It really, really will help.
yeah, well, I'm an example of that because again, yesterday, my intention, my hands was filled with things to do, and I promised to turn up, and I turned up, and I was
Mhm.
overly impressed, so much so I just to speak to Althea, and then from Althea I got to speak to now three sisters that I might not have met otherwise. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure
Exactly.
Colin would have got round to tell me this, that, and the other. But when you behold with your own eyes and you hear with your own ears, you
Mhm.
know, then it makes the whole situation more so real. So I have to commend yourselves for the effort that you are making to put back within our community as a contributor to the village to make our youngsters realize that we are one big family. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So with our subconsciousness, that's what we need to be able to embrace the fact that we are a family and we do need to work together collectively.
Exactly.
And set
Exactly.
aside these so-called egos that we may well have. So I'm
We
here.
need, we really need help with funding. We've got great programs that will benefit our youngsters, and we're out here, but we really, really do need help to fund this program, because
Yeah.
I'm not from Edmonton like More, and we've come into your area, and we really want to help your youngsters.
Okay.
Colin
Okay.
has been amazing in bringing us all together. We've just all met each other through Colin, through the 21K Digital Media Centre, and we're all very, very passionate, and we really do want to make this a success.
Okay. Okay. Well, again, obviously, it's for myself to work with yourselves and to make this dream a reality. Enfield is green pastures, and I'm
Mhm.
saying that because as a community, we have been deprived. Deprivation attract funds, so the funds
Mhm.
are there that do come in. The most
Mhm.
important thing, therefore, is how we structure ourselves. So once we are structured, yeah, we then need to turn to our what would be our local councillors as well as our MP. Our MP's office is already in the green, yeah. So it means we have to put pressure to bear on these individuals to make sure that the funds which comes into our borough, which is supposed to be for us, it actually comes to us, yeah. So we need to also establish amongst our African Caribbean community our numbers. Yeah,
I
because
agree.
with that it's power. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So we will do what we have to do. So the important thing is to have the structure in place in order to make a delivery on what it is that you're offering our young people in training and their own personal development so they can become entrepreneurs in order to deliver
That's
because
what we want to
our
see.
community need business.
Mhm.
Yeah, we need business. And Edmonton Green, there's an ample space, but at the same time, it's disproportionately represented by one group,
Mhm.
and we need to change that. Yeah, because there is a need for us to be independent. We need to cook
But we
our
need to
own
break the
food.
cycle, and I think once we do that, um, things will go well for the community. But we have to talk, and we have to come together, as you say, and us talking on platforms like this. And thank you so much, for having us on to
No,
to
this
be
is
able
my
to talk about
duty.
what it is that we're doing.
No, this is my duty. It's one of it's a pleasure, obviously, because of you're making an impact from what has been said, but at the same time, I've got a platform that I've got to bring members of the community who are engaging with the community, who are offering something to the community that's going to benefit the community. So I'm fulfilling my duty, yeah, and for that reason, I only have to attend the functions which are happening within the community in order to garner that evidence or that support. So I can, you don't have to come into the studio, you could just phone, yeah, but the
Exactly.
message is then projected, yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm not gonna put on this platform any individual or group who are not credible,
Good.
and who is not
Mhm.
accountable to the community and is not affording anything to our young people particularly, you know. So I welcome the effort that you're making, and obviously I see yourselves as a family. I've got a duty to serve as a community activist, and long may this journey continue, so that you then at a stage where you're independent with the funds. So
Exactly.
yeah, at some point we'll have to call our MP, our councillors, whoever is on the council, those
We've
officers
got to
who,
talk to everybody and hold them
yeah, we,
accountable to come up and make sure that they get involved and they support this good cause.
yeah, and we also need to get the youngsters. So we need to establish a membership amongst our youngsters. Yeah, so
Definitely.
it may mean going into the school from the head teachers level, so that these young people know that the support is there. You only have to visit two school and you've got 3,000 people. You know what I'm
Yeah, I
saying?
agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not as impossible. The main thing is to have a structure, which you've afforded Colin. There's a
Mhm.
structure around him. I support, the center manager support. There's churches that can be involved, other institutions, local businesses. Because we've
Exactly.
been in this community from the 70s. I think I've been in Edmonton, and
Mhm.
it has not gone forward for us as a community. It's gone backwards. So we need to pull together now. A number of us, we've got our own independence insofar as a home. So it's for us to invest in our children now. They need to be coming up with the bright ideas to turn into businesses.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So what
Exactly.
you're doing, it's all good. But my fascination in this 3D thing, I'm still trying to figure it out, because I think my eyes are playing tricks on me. Yeah, because it seems
A
so
lot of the
simple, and
uh-huh.
it just builds itself. This 3D thing.
There's a lot to it, but it's capturing, definitely. You come up with a design and you draw whatever design it is that you want. You use different types of software to create these designs, and basically, just like if you're printing off a document, you send it to the 3D printer and it prints. It does it layer by layer by layer, and then it produces um, an object.
An object.
An object of whatever it is that you want. I mean, they're 3D printing. You can 3D print a house now. They're using cement with a huge, machine that can build a house in 24 hours. Um, it's just so amazing. I mean, I also love laser printing, which does more or less the same, but using high-tech laser machine.
Laser machine.
The tech that's out there, what you can produce with it is totally mind-boggling. People really haven't got a clue, and we really need more young Black people to
People
get
in it.
involved in tech.
Yeah. Yeah, well, again, you know that historically our parents are science run things.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
but now we're coming to understand. I mean, people say science is hobia, voodoo. Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, no,
We have to change that.
no. Well, I'm saying it to you because we need to change our mindset.
Yeah, we
You see what
need
I'm
to
saying?
change
Because
it.
as the mind thinketh, though, so can it be a reality. But we detach
Mhm,
ourselves from our true nature, and we've been following
mhm.
along a route of something that is not being to our benefit.
But it's around all of us. To say something like that, we're using technology with our phones. The same printer, you print documents. That's all been designed and created.
Yeah,
So it's we have to change that because we're living in 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 a society where technology is everywhere. If we didn't have it, can you what it would be like?
Yeah, but
How
you've got to
people would
remember,
fall
it's
down.
yeah, but it's still the privileged few initially who gets in to gain that
Well, that's
insight.
why we're here.
Yeah,
That's why we're here,
yeah,
because we have to give it to the masses.
to the masses because historically it's been an institution and they're the doorkeeper, the gatekeepers, so they don't let us
Exactly.
in because there's no once we let in it's like that you know it's like going into a candy store. These kids see what is
Exactly.
possible and they say, pardon my expression, backside, you know,
Mhm.
and a new space opens up, you know. So yeah, I'm very mindful of that, you know, and I'm excited. I look forward to working with yourself as best as possible to let the community know as to what you're offering for our young people and how we need to obviously galvanize ourselves in order to make sure that there are fundings. So what sounds
Yeah,
very much
that's
like
really
a
important.
request, we want to turn it into a demand.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're not here to pet
Exactly.
and to powder. Yeah,
Mhm.
we're making demands because our community needs it, and more so our youngsters need it. Yeah, because their future is in our hands. Likewise,
Exactly.
our life is
And
in.
we want them to change the future. We need them,
Yeah,
and it's through them that the change will come.
most definitely. You know. So we say enough of this talk now.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I'm so blessed this week because whenever time I come in the studio, I
Uh-huh.
always fret that I'm gonna have to be talking, and I know people just fed up of hearing my talk because it's like I'm saying the same thing over and over and
No,
over.
don't say that, because we need you to do that. It's important.
Yeah, but there comes a time when action speaks louder than words, and that's what
I
I'm
hear
saying.
that.
That's what's been
Mhm.
demonstrated today. Yeah,
Mhm.
we're dealing with action now. The same way I'm professing to say I'm offering real, active, structured, supported solutions. Yeah,
Mhm.
that isn't my show. When it started off, it was concept to real, active, structured, supported solutions. But because
Mhm.
of the acronym, yeah, because
Yeah.
because of the acronym, I've had to revert back to the political correctness, which is saying
Mhm.
enough is enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're at the end of our tether now.
Mhm.
Yeah. We need to effect change now. Yeah. So in
Mhm.
order for us to effect change, we have to come together as a collective. As Marcus would look at it, we are a village. Yeah. One
Exactly.
hand cannot clap. Yeah.
It takes a
So
village to raise a child.
it takes a village to raise a child. So my purpose on this platform is to pull us all together as a collective so that we can work together. But also I've got to be out there engaging. So what I see with my eyes, I can put my words to say I can endorse, I can recommend, yeah. And
Mhm.
again, the same with our youngsters. If they're in these institutions, I will be asking of them, how are they performing? How is the institution performing? Because we need to be accountable to each other. Because you're
Mhm.
giving up of your time, yeah, and you don't want for it to be in vain.
That's true. That's true. But we're really, pushing. We're having the pilot, as the other ladies have said, on the
Yeah.
third week of August,
Hmm.
and we really want people to come support and see what we're doing, because I know that once they come and see it, they
Okay.
will have a different vision.
Okay, so the 13th of August, you said?
It's the third week of August.
The
In the
third
third
week.
week,
Okay.
yeah.
You haven't actually got a date for that because I need to kind of be noting that.
I think it will start the Monday, the in the
Okay.
third week. I'm not,
Third week.
yeah.
Okay, I
And
can
it's
have a
free session.
3 sessions.
It's free.
Oh, it's free.
Yes.
Okay.
So, come along and see what we're about. Come and join in.
Yeah.
We've got some
Okay.
great workshops there.
Okay. Well, obviously, I'm going to recommend that. So you're saying 3 weeks.
No, and
Third week.
the the third week of August. That's
Okay.
correct.
And that's starting from the Monday.
Yes.
Okay, so that's the 3rd. Tomorrow is the 10th, so it's going to be the 17th.
Next week, yeah.
Okay, that's the 17th. Okay, for myself, I think that is Marcus Garvey's. That might be Marcus Garvey's birthday.
Well, that would be a blessing.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be a blessing. I think I'm supposed to be at Tottenham Green there, at the Marcus Garvey thing. But yeah, I
Hmm.
will confirm. But anyway, yeah, so we're
Well, it's
talking
a
about.
week event, so I mean, you can come along.
Yeah,
You know,
so that.
it's for the week.
Yeah, so that's as of Monday, the 17th of March. And you're saying that will run for a
March,
week?
August.
Sorry, yeah, 17th of August.
Yeah.
And that would be running for the week.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Well, that's been mentioned. And that's next week. And again, I will mention it again next week. Yeah, so I'll put that in
Yeah.
my diary. Yeah?
Brilliant.
Okay. Yeah. Well, again, if my memory serves right, being Marcus's birthday, then yeah, you've got a very good starting point date. Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. All right, my sister. We're at 9:56. I've got to wind down because I need to
Okay.
tell.
Well, thank you again, as I said, for giving us the opportunity to talk about our programs, and really appreciate it. So
No,
thanks
no, no.
again.
It's been my pleasure, my
Hmm.
sister. I look forward to meeting yourselves again.
Yeah.
And yeah, to promote what it is that you're doing. Obviously, I wish yourselves all the success. I salute my brother Colin.
Yeah.
I look forward
Definitely.
to our working with the center manager, our
Yeah.
so-called politicians and local businesses, and more so even our youngsters, our future. So
Exactly.
my salute goes to you. Keep the
Thank you.
fire burning, and I
Will do.
wish you long life with good health.
All right. Same to you.
Okay,
Thanks
my
again.
sister. God's richest
Take care.
blessings. Okay,
Bye
you
bye.
take care then.
Bye.
Okay, bye then. Bye. Yes, family. So that, to a certain extent, conclude our live calls for the week. I hope the program has been very informative, and that you've been able to take something away from all that had been said. As you heard, there is the 17th of August where they're embarking on their launch up there in Edmonton Green. It's a week's program. I'm also conscious of the fact that it's our elder brother Marcos' birthday. We ourselves, we're gonna be down there at Hyde Park, I believe, on the Sunday at Speaker's Corner for Marcus Garvey African Family Day. That starts at 3 p.m. So bring your drums, bring God's vibration. Also, I think there's a mention about Manhood Academy. They've got their summer camp program 2020, which begins on the 10th, which is tomorrow. I believe there's an activity that's supposed to be taking place this week up there in Jubilee Park. I didn't got that confirmed, so that is for you to keep your ears peeled. And we've got the thousand drum ancestral salute, which is ongoing. So we encourage you to have yourself a drum, or to just, what do you say, get on the site and learn the unity beat, because it's our ramming, what do you say, it's our ramming song. Or we're so fed up of marching nowadays that we need to be in tune with one another. So the powers that lies within the drum, we want to keep that out so that we can use the vibration to shake Boris out of his dungeon, because there's a lot of people who are in their slumber at the moment, you know what I'm saying? So, my people, I don't even know what to say to you, but I thank you for your time. I thank you for listening. I hope that the program has been edifying. I hope that you've taken something away from. If I've forgotten anything, you've got to forgive me, because it got sometimes it's not to say the head not good, but sometimes the mind is all over the place. So I say salute to my brothers, Brother Lee, Nims, Stafford, Cowboy, fathers to fathers, all the people that are seeing out there this week. You know what I'm saying? My respect, honor, keep the fire burning. We can't afford to lose this momentum. We have to seize this moment. It's time. We can't make the politicians them get away with what they're getting away with. So we need to hold them to account. What were wishes before now needs no doubt to be demands. Yeah? So we need to take a stand. Yeah? We need to say enough is enough. And the reason for that is because una fed up like me though. Yeah, me fed up. Me vexed to a certain extent. Yeah? So as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. The prophecy is being fulfilled. Don't let nobody fool honor. You understand? And make we go out in a one sunny thing, I think. Yeah? Let me see what I go on there. Blessed love.
What's happening every day? Sunny day.
What a sunny day.
Jaja leads the way.
Jaja lead the way. Yeah, it's been quite a sunny day. Sunny day. All over this week, yeah. Well, I do some liquor farming. I want some rain really and truly, you know. But yeah, it's good to let the sweat pour out, you know what I'm saying? So, family, have a fantastic week, yeah?
Always gonna stop me. I see no one in my way. It's even more than words can say. Unless the last year leads the way. If it takes more than birds to sing, to let them know he's the only king of kings. Try thy blessing pure. Emperor Selassie, sunny day, I pray. Jaja needs the way. Desire I wear. Sunny day, I pray. Jaja leads the way. Desire I wear. When the king is passing, wicked out is mousing. Easily been taken away. No for them I eat them. Long time rust not see them. None of them can come chase I away. Sunny day, I pray. Jaja leads the way. Cause I sunny day, I pray. Jaja leads the way. Shining, just start shining. And Jah will bless a brighter day. No for them I in them, long time rest I see them. So let's see if we cleanse your ways. Do some good today. Shout out to Zion way. Sunny day, I pray. Jaja leads the way. See no one in my way. It's even more than words can say. I listen last year I need the way. If it takes more than birds to sing, to let them know he's the only king of kings. Try thy blessing pure.
Yes, family, good night. Have a fantastic week and stay blessed.